Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is KidSane, and today we're going to be doing basically our first thoughts on Destiny 2 and how we are just how we are enjoying it or hating it or whatever. Just what I think about the game. And this is going to be a little long video, and there's also going to probably be a little bit of spoilers just in case. I'm just going to say it now, so spoiler warning for anything, maybe it's campaign, raid, anything like that. So yeah, you've been warned. All right, so this video isn't a video just to praise Bungie for the masterpiece it came out, or nor hate it for complain about all its little mistakes. This is just my first thoughts on Destiny, and or on Destiny 2, and basically how it relates to Destiny 1, or how it did better, or just how I feel about the game in general and what our expectations were versus what we got. So, first I want to start talking about the game. I mean, right now, when I first got the game, I was ecstatic. I saw the improvements that happened with the story and how like the whole it just felt fresh. Like all the little mistakes that they made in Destiny 1 with how like basically what Taken King had fixed a little bit, and they just proceeded to fix with like maybe just in-game moving from planet to planet, or vault space or stuff like that. Just little things like that they've changed, and I I'm really glad they did that, and that it was a really good step. But we'll talk about more of that later. What I want to talk about now is the campaign and how they actually have a campaign this time, and it's pretty good. It's a good campaign, and it shows potential, is what I'm seeing. They have great cutscenes. They have a great boss, Gaul. He's just he's a really great boss, um, and he's just like you actually think, what is he gonna do? Like you actually are in the campaign and you understand what's going on, and the cutscenes are great again. It's awesome. It was a pretty long. It was a pretty normal sized campaign. It was about 8 to 10 hours, depending on how fast you did it and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a good campaign, and I enjoyed it, and it was great. But it could have been better, obviously. But I think they just made this just to pull in an audience that wanted story, and that's what they delivered, was story. And they said what they were gonna do, and they did it, and it was good, and that was great. Now I want to also talk about the end game, because yeah, the first 20 levels are great. You're grinding and getting up, but the end game is the actual real grind. And we have with the raid out right now. They don't have prestige yet, so I can't really talk about what's coming in the future, because I have no idea what they're gonna do for prestige mode. They said they were gonna do some different things, so I don't know. Um, I mean, they have Prestige Nightfall. They timed the Nightfall, so maybe they'll time the raid. I don't know if that'll be that linear of a thought, but maybe. Um, but what I am really focusing on is how that 80% of this community doesn't really grind as much as the top 20%, maybe 10% alone. I think only 2% of people have actually completed the prestiged Nightfall. Is that what I'm thinking? 2%? Or was that? I don't know. But what I'm saying is there's very little grinding in this community, I guess, is what I'm saying. There's 80% of people get to level 20 and stuff like that, and actually like play the campaign and grind out, but no one really actually wants to do those really hard exotic gun quests and the prestige mode raid that's just insane, and the super grindy top get the best gun, or with the role perks in Destiny 1. Like there was just so much grindy stuff that they have taken out, which I kind of disagree with, but I see why they've done it. And it's just their best interest to cater to the 80%, not the top 10, 15, 20% is what I'm trying to get at. And um, I agree with that. I mean, it's a business. They're obviously trying to make as much people happy as they possibly can while still making money. And yeah, it's a corporation. Developers don't have too much money these days to make amazing games like these do, so when they do make them, I'm giving them a benefit of the doubt. And so, I guess what we expected is that Bungie to not have to quote unquote cater to anyone, or specifically, rather, just everyone, like cover everybody that needs it. So what I'm saying is like have a grindy, intense, hard things for the top, I don't know, maybe 5% that goes really hard in the game and spends lots of hours on it, and have just certain activities for those people, and none of the other people have to do those. It's not required to get to the same level or even have as much fun. Just those are just things for people to do, whether it's putting Eververse things like such as shaders or ornaments for exotic weapons or ships um, in the game, to where like maybe you had to actually do things. I saw Dado making a video about that, saying maybe we should have like 10 trials flawless runs, that and you get like a shader or some really cool exotic ornament, instead of just having to pay for it with microtransactions. And that's pretty shitty that it's in the game, but it's it's business. It's what happens, and that's what they tell us. So it's just kind of have to bite our tongues on that one. But even just having cool events, I know that faction wars are coming in or something like that. It's like just events that occur every week to keep people interested, like for like content creators like myself, and what we can constantly like put out some content from Destiny 2 and get a confidence response. So like a confident response from the community saying, "Hey, I like this video," or "I'm so glad this content's out. It's really fun to watch," or even just fun to play, and that would be really cool. So I gotta see what happens with the faction wars and how that's going on, and but I would like to see more content like that, and if they have that coming, that's great. That's awesome. That's what we want. Um, Even for the less serious community, like which is a vast majority of the community, have just easy and fun activities like we do now for most of Destiny 2. As I said, that's what they're catering to. That's what they offer right now, such as pub events. Even the heroic parts, those are pretty easy too, and they still give you good loot. Um, with fun mechanics, and then lost sectors, which is new, adventures, etc., stuff like that. So asking for all those things for each individual group of people, maybe that was just too much to expect, or maybe just we haven't seen its full potential, Destiny 2's full potential yet, but we do see potential, and that's throughout the whole game, is what we see as potential. The campaign was good, great cutscenes, great dialogue, awesome action. Um, that's nice, and it shows potential. Um, I like how the raid is tied into story. Again, spoilers. The raid is tied into story while you're in it. I like how Callus is really, he's just testing you, and he's encouraging you to prove your worth to him. It's a great concept, and but for now, without anything to back it up, um, back up what that means, like all the hints it's giving. Um, Given this is before prestige mode, so I don't know what's going on in prestige mode, but that right now all it shows is potential. And don't get me wrong, Destiny 2 is great. It has updated Destiny in a good direction. Um, but what this game is doing is more of a setup, like showing us what it could be capable of, but not actually meeting its expectations that it was hyping itself up to be, really. I still love Destiny, whether it's 1, 2, or even 10. I will always love it, but right now, I know potential it's showing. The potential it's showing me is great, and that's all it is, though, is just potential. And maybe down the line, when the game does get to that point, and this video is old, we should all know when Destiny has stopped showing us what its amazing universe could be, and just give it to us to enjoy like we hoped for the sequel. And that's all for me. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. KidSane out.